Are you more of a spontaneous type or a planner? See, I'm both because I want to plan parts like okay, like here. Like obviously I can't just like drop what I'm doing and drive wherever I want for vacation, right? So you plan the area, you plan the hotel, right? Rental if you need it and stuff like that. But I try not to over plan it. Like I might look through things and go, "Oh my god, I'd like to check this out." Or, "Oh my god, it would be so cool to see this," right? Um but yeah, I try not to overdo it, because then you get disappointed because you didn't get to do this, you didn't get to do that. But like, we got to remember, we can always go back. It's not like when we go somewhere, it's the one and only time we'll ever get to do it, right? Yeah. Oh my God. All right, Danny, you ready to hop in the box? We'll start talking about your. All right, here we go.
Good morning.
Hello, how are you, darling?
Waking up a little
I'm
bit.
trying. I'm trying to. Like, we're gonna have to do that part together, I think.
Yes, I was up until 2 a.m. at my other job, so it was a fun night. um, but the lesson I'm going to be sharing today is a little bit with mental health and a little bit with personality over looks and some stuff that goes into that with making friends and also dating. So for me, like personality is a major plus considering I am transgendered and I'm kind of in between both of that right now. So personality is a big plus, even with making friends, trying to find someone you have in common with. It could be as simple as going to the movies every Friday to as extreme as my first date, I like to go out to dinner type of thing. Personality for me, I always say, is a big forefront. And that also has something to do with planning as well, in a way. Because when you're making connections, especially on heel and making friends, you want to maybe plan something to go out and maybe see them because you like the personality, you like what you see online and live stream. You want to go out. So sometimes you have to make adjustments to your schedule, your livelihood. We all have stuff going on. So when that comes through, you have to make sure everything is basically where am I staying at when I go out there? I'm probably not going to stay in the same house with them. And there I go. Um, technical difficulties. Don't worry, hon. I'll send you the bill for my medical concussion. It's fine.
Listen,
Oh,
you guys, I'm not home. I'm in the nursing home with my grandma, so we're doing the best to make this happen. And
and again, this also kind of goes with our planning and our spontaneousness. Should I have brought a table with me? Should I have brought a stand with me?
I thought about it, and I said, "Nah, I don't want to carry."
Yeah. But with the mental health aspect, with me having body dysmorphia, there might be some other people I want to find out if they do have body dysmorphia, just like me on this platform. So that goes into that personality trait. Appearance, as someone told me before, looks on forever, but personality is. So with with that, it's basically going to the forefront of I want to find someone with maybe anxiety issues. I want to find someone with depression if I have one of them, or maybe, like I said, body dysmorphia, all the way down to same, we got diagnosed the same day at the same health clinic down the street. So for me, it's a very big must with personality, because if you don't have personality, what are you going to have to offer? What can I
Right. And
learn
that
off of you?
and that stems a lot from like my phrase I tell everybody is that you can't find your tribe, or you need to have your own vibe to find your tribe. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? You can't be pretending to be anything else. You just got to be yourself. You got to be sincere, and then you find the people that are meant to be in your life. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yes.
yeah, that goes with that. But yeah, no. So at what point in your life did you realize that a person's attitude, a person's actions were more important than the cute booty or pretty eyes?
Um, when my fiance passed away, I was just about married at one point in my life. We were together for 10 years, basically since middle school. He was the only guy I was ever with at that point. So we, like, everything. He was my first guy with everything: first date, first love, first everything else that we're not going to talk about right now. But he passed away suddenly on me when I graduated college. Um, Him and his best friend committed suicide when they found out they both had HIV. So their story lives on for me, and by me talking about it, a lot does help. But when he passed away, I needed to find a tribe of people that were widows, because I was just graduating college. I was just about to get married here, right after, close to the accident. And I also needed to find my tribe of people that could support me, because for a month my apartment was a crime scene. So I couldn't. I needed to make connections. I needed to make friends. And in some ways, I had to make these connections kind of fast. And I learned rather quickly that personality is a big thing, mainly because with me having to make these fast connections and having at least one person trust me to be in their apartment while they're at work or doing whatever, it was kind of like my personality had to come out rather quickly. So,
Sorry, the nurses and the aides and the physical therapists. This is why Beard Raider. This is why I don't promise to be on anybody's show, and this is why it's hard to do this. But my mom can't be here, so we're trying to multitask to keep the show going. And yeah, but this is why, because so Danny and Beard Raider both, thank you for being patient with me while we're doing these adjustments and stuff for the show for now. Um, and I do want to say that I am really sorry you had to go through all of that. And it definitely, you're a tough cookie.
well, thank
You're a
you.
tough cookie. You're a tough cookie. If you could look back, I like to ask this question a lot. If you could look back to your younger self when you first started to, like, realize a lot of the things that were helping you become who you are, how did it feel when you finally realized you could just be yourself? You could have your own vibe and you could find your tribe.
Good. Uh, it it was probably in middle school for me. It was
Young.
between middle school and high school. I was the all-star athlete at my high school and my middle school that took me to college, paid for my life after college. So looking back, I was like, it kind of also um got me to where I'm at today. The discipline, the structure, the um honestly, like the moves, because some of the football moves, if you haven't noticed, are actually like could be choreographed dance moves. So sometimes I'll put a
Yes.
little bit of football moves into my like dancing and performing on stage at the club when I'm doing my drag thing.
Sorry, I was checking to see how dude she's yo, okay, I don't mean to interrupt you, but she's just went. all the way down that hallway without stopping. So y'all, well, first of all, welcome to Lessons Learned. If you haven't done so already, please favorite Flirty Danny up here in the box. We're talking about more or less how who you are as a person is far more important than what you look like as a person. You know, um, and I like this topic. It's sometimes it's hard though, right? Because we all have. Okay, here's where this gets tricky, right? Because we all have to be attracted to the person we're going to be with to some level, right? But
Yes.
we all have different attractions. We all find different types of people attractive, right?
Mhm.
So like
Yes.
that's it's amazing, that there's somebody out there for everybody if you're just willing to put in the work for it,
hmm And that's also um something that I teach people and teach other transgenders actually coming out and moving forward, because I don't know about you, but I'm the type that I'm not going to wear makeup 24/7.
Right, me neither.
So I'm not going to look like that 24/7. I don't want
Hmm.
to have if I have a boyfriend or whatnot, I'm not going to have a face on if we're video chatting for 20 minutes over the phone, because it does take me about 3 or 4 hours to look really pretty and like get dolled up. So
3 to 4 hours.
yeah, and that's on a slow
This
day.
takes me 3 minutes. Call it my undead look. I call it my undead look.
Yeah. So for someone that's starting the transition process, it can be a little bit, if you're dating and starting it at the same time, it can be a little tricky because you have to find a person with the person that wants the personality with the attraction level as well. Because if, and they also have to be the same way back to you, because I'm not going to look like that picture that was shown just a couple minutes ago 24/7, which is why I actually chose that photo when and then come up in the box like I did. So it's a little bit of give and take too, with some attraction levels and some personality levels as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, we've all got different things that we look for in people. But I think that stemming from all of this, guys, this stuff like this takes time. And something a lot of us have to realize, and I see it all the time. And I used to do it all the time, which is why I see it, because now I'm like, oh my God, I'm glad I don't do that. But we jump, we start to settle, we start to give excuses because they're cute or they might like something that we like, or I don't really got a nice house, I got a nice car, whatever your excuse is. You've really got to allow yourself to be who you are, and that person really has to allow themselves to be who they are. And
Mhm.
things like that take time. So people need to stop rushing into things. Like if you genuinely like somebody and it's genuinely going to work, just understand that you have the rest of your life with that person. There's no need to rush the first couple weeks whatsoever. But people take that first couple weeks and they've already spent the night with each other, in a hanky panky kind of way, if you know what I mean. And that ruins it right off rip. So, like, you could, but that's not something that should be a priority in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I should be thankful that I had found my person, not that I got hanky panky,
Yes, and then also with the meanies too, as I call them. The meanies are the people who look good, they sound good on paper, but your friend group and your connections that have everything in common with you see a red flag.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you need to start listening to them too, and seeing if maybe you can find it, because maybe it was just a looks that you fell for.
Yeah. If you're falling for somebody super quick, if it feels all fast and strong, it's usually wrong.
I like that
You
quote.
know, if it's fast and strong, it's usually wrong. If it gives you butterflies, it ain't right. Fly the fuck out of there. Excuse my French. Sorry. Fly out of there, because It shouldn't do that. A person you're supposed to be with should just be comfortable. It shouldn't be jittery or anxious or ooh, like it. Like, don't get me wrong, you should be excited, right?
Mhm.
But um, yeah, no, it should just feel like you met a friend, and then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're like, oh my god, I can't live without this person.
Yes, exactly. And there's for me some red flags that my friend group look for that I tell them to look for when I introduce them to a guy I'm interested in is mainly like if you tell me one thing and then you tell my friend group something
Yes.
totally different, or you tell me your intentions and I think they're true intentions. You tell my friend group it was only, as you call it, hanky panky.
Well, and its actions speak louder than words, and no response is a response. And that no response is a response destroyed me for a couple weeks at one point in my life, because like, you message someone and maybe it takes them a day to get back to you. That's okay. Sometimes I forget to get back to people, but no, man, if you're all into that person, it doesn't take you a day to respond. No response is a response.
Exactly.
Takes 2 seconds to send a call you later. I'm busy as hell. Miss you. XO, smiley face, anything to let me know you're thinking about me.
Hmm. And I like doing that with like the guy I'm talking to right now is in another country. I didn't know what to say to him at 10 o'clock last night. So guess what I said? I just sent a smiley face and good and fell away to sleep. That's all I sent.
Yo, my grandma, look, she walked from to that window and then all the way down that hall. Then she turned from the corner to her room another like 100 feet. So like, that was a lot.
That's actually really good. Um, so congrats. So yeah,
Oh. So
that's
yeah, look, guys, if you're just tuning in, welcome to Lessons Learned. And I'm sorry, I am all over the place. Grandma's doing her physical therapy. We're still trying to make the show go on. And Flirty Danny, you've been amazing and patient with me, and I appreciate you. I do want to ask, before I ask you a couple of not so serious questions, is there anything else you wanted to add to this topic?
no, actually I got through all my notes faster than what I thought.
Okay. Then tell these folks, when do you stream? When can we find, or what will we find when we come to your stream? Like, what do you have going on?
So I am Floaty Danny. I stream basically stream every day. We're getting back into that everyday schedule. All time we do time ranges from 1 a.m. to 1 p.m., but I'm
Okay.
normally on around 6 p.m. I
Okay.
work as a 24/7 on-call healthcare provider and nanny.
Oh, thank you for
So
doing what you do.
so I'm on
Seriously.
call 24/7. Yesterday we had one of our clients in the group home, couple buildings down. Um he um he actually stuck his head in the fence around recess. So it's calls like that that we have to watch with nonverbal. So I tell people if I am streaming, you don't see me there, it means I forgot to turn off my live before I left for a call. Because as soon as those
Well,
calls
then,
come in, I try to give everyone their time and their energy. And if those calls come in, I'm right out the door. Sometimes I'm live streaming, and sometimes I'm not. I'm trying to work better with that to if I get a call, get off right away. It's sometimes not it's the last thought in my head. Turn off your live stream. So
I hear it, yeah.
that's
I hear it.
me.
I hear
So
it. So, Danny, thank you very
thank
much. I
you.
appreciate you. Make sure you guys hit Danny with the fave. Go check out the stream, see what's going on over there. And thank you for the amazing life lesson you shared with us today. All right, Beard Raider, you're up. Give me a couple minutes. I guess we'll do. I'll have to pull some self care, self love tips out of my derriere because I don't have my book. Hey, Stabby, what am I going to tell you to do? Cool, dude. What am I going to tell you to do? Fred, what's my favorite line? Drink Mountain Dew. No, drink your dang water, y'all. Look, I went out and bought me one of these little fancy schmancy $15 Walmart giant cups. Works great. Drink a lot of water. I spent a lot of time on the toilet the last week or so, but that's okay. I did not say drink Mountain Dew. I said drink water. And I still can't understand how you're soaking wet 100 pounds and you drink 8 Mountain Dews a day. If I drank 8 Mountain Dews a day, I would be 300 pounds and have diabetes. Well, I hate your metabolism. It's not fair.
I don't think the weather's helping it at all.
No, it's not. My knees and my fingers hurt yesterday and today.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see. If you don't live in Ohio and the weather is nice, I would highly recommend you guys try to get outside.
Can we do anything else for you right now?
See, self-care, read a book.
Yeah. Good job. Yeah, really. It was a pleasure getting to watch.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, take care.
I'm pretty sure everybody here's like, what is this lady doing talking to her phone? Yeah, it's crappy weather here. And we get the next couple weeks is pretty much all crappy weather. Cool, dude. We're gonna fight for real. I'm in the nursing home with grandma, and she's got her therapy appointments, and they came later yesterday, so I thought I'd be good today, but of course they're here early again today, so I'm like, whatever. We're just making it work. We are doing our best to make it flow. Whatever, boo. I'm pretty sure it's going to be rainy and crappy here. I hope it rains all weekend. I'm not allowed to acknowledge the gifts, guys, and that's something else that really stinks. As a featured show, you're not allowed to acknowledge the gifts, but I will say thank you now for all of the gifts. Thank you for the favorites, and thank you for being here. I appreciate y'all. That's a whole new dancing one. I thought it would have been one of the other. Nice. And then we're going to get Beard Raider here in the box in just a second. Let's see. Self-care tip. Make yourself a healthy meal, something new, try to find something I don't know, try a new type of salad. Like, it's one of the best things you can put in your body is raw vegetables, a salad. And let's see, my brain is not processing. I already did the water. You're late. I'm surprised y'all don't call me the water lady at this point. You can have bacon with your vegetables. Or wrap your vegetables in the bacon. I'll even accept that. But either way, eat your dang vegetables. Oh, man, you know what I've been dying to try? Bacon wrapped asparagus. I thought about, but I feel like I need thin bacon. Like, I don't want the thick bacon because then you don't taste the asparagus. That, or you do like, oh, I love asparagus. Or you do like 3 of the asparagus and with 1 piece of bacon around it. You know what I mean? Because I don't want it to be too. But anything with bacon is like, yeah, T, because you don't know how to cook. Whoever cooked it for you doesn't know how to cook. because when I make it, it's banging. I've had bacon wrapped a lot of stuff. Mm. I've had it. I've never made it. I've never made the bacon wrap, but I've had it and it was delicious. But if I made it, it would be delicious too. Hmm. You can wrap like a lot of stuff in bacon and it's good. All right, Beard Raider, you ready? I'm gonna wait for you to give me the okay to let you in. If you guys are just tuning in, welcome to Lessons Learned. You missed Flirty Danny. We talked about how personality is far more important than looks. And now we're going to have Beard Raider in the box. Hi.
Hey,
How are you, honey?
I'm great. How have you been?
I'm doing all right. I wish that whatever this was would go away, my sinuses, but you know, we'll
You need
make
to
it.
get some peppermint and eucalyptus oil when you take a shower. Just put a couple drops in there, and it'll help clear you up.
I have the peppermint.
Oh, concentrate and ask again.
Ask again. Ask later. I don't like stuff wrapped in bacon. It never gets crunchy. So that's like they left the tips of the asparagus out, so that got crunchy, but the rest of the asparagus, I don't care if it's crunchy or not. I just want the end of my asparagus, that little bite, to be crunchy. Bonjour.
Hey, can you mute the TV, please? For like 10 minutes? Thank you.
Yeah, I do like crunchy bacon. All right, so Beard Raider. All right, stop talking about bacon. Y'all are making me hungry, and I forgot my
Right?
breakfast.
I'm like, I want some bacon now. Like, trying to think. Yeah, we don't have bacon.
Raider, what are we talking about today, love? Tell me
You
your
know
life.
what? I have no idea because I have so many life lessons that like I've learned like there's tons of stuff that comes to mind. Um Going off of what Danny was saying about finding someone to accept you. Um I've been on this app for way too long. And I found my person. I don't know how I got that lucky, but I found my person. You're my kid, you're not my person. You're my little person. Stop talking to me. Sorry. We're homesick today. Okay, we had to go to the hospital last night because we were having difficulty breathing and our chest hurt. So we got to take a ride in an ambulance with some super hot paramedics. Not even gonna lie, don't tell the boyfriend.
I need 1 second, and normally I don't do this, but you don't even have my name right. I'm your person. Okay. Learn my name if you're gonna try to, be absurd. At least, please. All right. Sorry.
Right?
Just had to point that
Yeah,
out.
so we had to take a quick trip to the hospital last night. Turns out she's only got strep, which is great, but not great because we're sick.
It's not great, but it's better than the scarier option.
Exactly. But the hot paramedics made it a whole lot easier for everyone. So it was a much easier time. Not that I'm glad that she was sick or anything, but I was just like, geez, and like tattoos up and down their arms. I'm like, I'm feeling kind of woozy myself. Like I'm a little tired. I don't know what's going on with me. My chest hurts. I can't breathe. Like, whoo, my goodness.
There's a couple of good-looking therapists.
Right? Like, whenever I need some emergency thing going on, like, I get the old people and the women, right? But, like, my kid has a cough and they send, like, 6 hot firemen and, like, paramedics. And I'm just like, like, I'm sick. Help me.
Yeah, I go in, I get the old cranky lady who's pissed off at the world.
Right? So
Our other doctor I took her to Wednesday for the shot on the knee, he was a good looking gentleman as well. Like, tired of being single. I'm on the prowl, y'all.
Okay, I'm on a show, dude. Give me 10 minutes. Jeez. So a lesson learned is kids don't let you have any time for yourself. We're just going to do mini lessons today, okay? There's a lot of mini lessons I have. But I like how you both were talking about like finding your person, and if you get the butterflies, there's something, run. When I met my person, he was living in Alaska. So we did meet on here. And it like we talked every night, and it was just like it felt right. You know what I mean? Like it just felt right. And then when he decided that he was going to come here, like I went to get him off the plane and everything. And like I was a little nervous when I was going to pick him up because I was like, he's actually here. Like I can't just hang up the phone when I'm like whatever, like he's going to be here. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, I got this. And I'm like waiting there at the gate for him and everything. Yeah, can't press mute. Exactly. I'm waiting there at the gate, and he's like, I'm at gate number 1. I was at gate number 4, which was for Alaska Airlines. And I was like, okay. He made me go all around the loop to come back and get him because he wouldn't walk to the correct gate. And so our first interaction was, are you serious? You made me go all around the circle again at this busy international airport because you couldn't walk to the other gate. But he got in the car, and it's like we never got off the phone. It was just like it was a natural transition from one to the next. And like that's how I knew he was my person, because I was just like, yeah, it wasn't weird at all. It wasn't like I have this strange guy in my car. It was like he's here. Like, yay. See, yes, definitely. There you go. But it was natural. And that's how I knew. And then like him and my daughter, my youngest daughter is 6, and they have that love-hate relationship where we can't admit that we like each other because like that's not okay. But they have their moments, and it's so cute when they have their moments. I'm just like, oh, you really do love him. No, I like him. And then no, I think you really love him. Maybe, but don't tell him. Like, okay, don't worry. I want your secret is safe with me. But I do the same thing to him. I was like, it's okay. He loves you. Like, don't worry. But it's the little things. But waiting for that is like, do you know how many frogs that I had to kiss before I found this one? Like way too many.
Right.
And it was just kind of like, I didn't actually kiss frogs. Well, one of them might have been, but but it's like I didn't ever think that I was gonna find my person, because I kept thinking like I keep meeting these idiots, and like they're not where I'm at in life. I'm not out here looking to have a bunch more kids and sneak out of my house to go out and hang out with you. I'm 41 years old. Come on.
Right.
If you have to ask me to sneak you into my house, I don't need to be talking to you. I don't have to sneak anybody. Like, come on. But waiting and like letting love find you is the way to go. Because when you put so much into it, like you're too focused, and you're not gonna like you're too focused, and you're not gonna find that person, or you're gonna overlook that person because you think you're looking for a particular thing, and then the person is right here and you completely miss it. Like I knew, like when we first started talking, there were 3 days that he broke up with me because somebody on here gave me a reading because she was into the cards and everything, and she's like, it's not going to work out with you two. And I thought it was funny because I was like, yeah, we're fine. We talk every night. We fall asleep on the phone. Like, there's no problem. And then I showed him that video, and he's like, yeah, I'm in Alaska. You're in Virginia. Like, I don't think it's going to work. And I'm like, wait, what? I was like, I thought it was funny. That's why I showed it to you. And we went 3 whole days of like not talking like we normally did. And like it was the worst 3 days ever. Like, I'm not even gonna tell you, it was like the longest 3 days. It was like a week and a half, but it was only 3 days. And we kept running into each other in streams and everything. And he was like, oh, I'll go. And I'm like, you don't have to go. Like, whatever. And then he sent me a message on the 4th day, and he's like, yeah, I can't not talk to you. And it just went back to the same exact way that it was before.
Grandma, remember yesterday I said we haven't seen a blue jay out there yet? Look.
Blue Jay.
There's a blue jay out there. Did you see him just fly off? Yeah. I hope to find my person soon, but also like I don't know that I've found myself fully yet.
You have to, that's the important thing. You have to find yourself before you can find that person, because if you don't love yourself and you're not happy with yourself, nobody else is going to either. And like I went through like a short depression when I was talking to him, and I could see that it was like not annoying him, but like he was concerned. And I was like, okay, you know what? I got to pull myself out of this because he's not going to want to talk to me if I keep telling him I don't want to talk to him. And I was like, it's got nothing to do with him. I was just in like one of those places. And I was like, I got to pull myself out, because if I don't, like, it, you don't understand the negative energy and how it like flows to others around you. Because like, even though you don't mean for it to, like, it's okay to wake up in a bad mood, it's okay to be depressed, it's okay to be anxious, but everybody else around you feels that too. So it's like you have to take that into consideration on how it makes others feel as well. And people don't always do that, because when you're having a bad day doesn't mean I have to have a bad day. I'm sorry that you're having a bad day. I'm here for you. And if there's anything I can do to help with that, let me know. And I'm there. But you're not going to ruin my day because you're having a bad one. And like recently, I had somebody, a friend on here, that was having suicidal thoughts. And it concerned me. So I did what I needed to do, and was able to get that person a welfare check. And then that person turned around and decided to hate me for it because I was concerned about their well being. And I was like, you know what? I'm not sorry about what I did. I would do it again. Like, I would do it again. That's just the kind of person I am. Like, I mean, I've sat in streams where people are upset. I sat in one stream when I first got on the app of some guy, he had a gun in the stream. And I was like, nope. And I just sat in there all night talking to him, just making sure. I was trying to figure out where he was so I could try to get him help, but he wasn't helpful at all. But I was like, you know what? At least I know he's alive. And then he came on the next day and he was like, oh, I'm drunk, I'm sorry. And I was like, well, you know what? At least you're alive. Put the gun away when you drink. Like, it's not okay. I was seriously concerned. But it's like I'm just that kind of person that I feel the need to help everybody. And I know sometimes I can't help everybody, but I'm still gonna try. If I were rich, I would be out there like Jeff Bezos, just like handing out cash, be like, you're not gonna be homeless anymore. Here's a house. Here's a house. There you go.
I learned a long time ago, though. I will not help you until you're helping yourself. Because
Absolutely.
F that. You're not draining me.
Right.
And and putting nothing into into it. So
You're not helpable until you realize that you have a problem. And it doesn't matter how much you want to help that person, there's nothing you can do. Because if I don't think that I have a problem, I don't have anything that I need to change. Even though I do have whatever the issue is, I'm dealing with the same thing right now with my 19-year-old. She's got a bunch of mental health issues. She chose to leave when she was 18, and she's been homeless. She's been addicted to drugs. She has chosen the wrong path, basically. And I've done everything I could to help her while she was at home and to help her try to get back home. And she just keeps making those bad decisions. And I'm like, you know what? I have 2 other kids that I have to take care of. I love you. I will always be there. But you got to figure out that you need to get help. And then I'm going to be here.
Do we have any money for Sissy?
No.
She doesn't deserve to be homeless.
Hey, she chose that. I'm not having this conversation with you right now.
She doesn't deserve it.
She doesn't deserve anything, but she's choosing it.
But she does
It's not
deserve it.
like and she gets disability, or she did get disability. And I was her designated payee. So I would give her the money like as needed. Okay. I would give her the money like as needed. And I found out that I was supporting her habit. And I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. And I stopped giving her money because I was like, I'm not going to support your habit. It's not going to happen. And she wasn't happy about it, obviously. But you know, she gets over it. She doesn't call me anymore because I stopped giving her the money. But she also didn't make the phone calls that she needed to make, so they decided not to give it to her anymore. So, but it's just it. What? Okay, Silent Hill. This isn't the place, but yeah. Um, but it's one of those things where I don't love her any less. I still love her just as much. I mean, she's my firstborn. Like, I'm never gonna stop loving her. I just have to think about my other 2 children and how it was affecting them, because they were missing school. They were getting bad grades. Well, my son was, but they were getting bad grades. They were missing school because we were up late dealing with something with her. And since she's been gone, my son, who is in 8th grade, has straight A's. And my daughter has missed a couple days of school when she's been sick, and that's pretty much it. So you can definitely see the change in everybody since she's been gone. And like I hope she finds herself, and I hope she is able to get the help that she needs to come back to society, for one. But I hope she finds what she needs so she can come back.
been there in your shoes with my oldest.
Yeah.
There's just nothing. It's you can. Hi guys. You can't enable them, and if you let them
Right.
stay home, it's enabling them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
And that's what I was doing. And I was like, she's my kid. I can't just let her, like, I can't kick her out. And then I was like, but I can't, like, I mean, before she left, she like assaulted me big time. And like the police were called and everything. And the first 3 times the police were here, they refused to do anything. And I was just like, okay, so if I beat my child, it's not assault because I'm just sticking up for myself. And the 4th time they came out, they saw like the holes in the wall because she had a knife and she was trying to get into my son's room like with a knife and everything. And they were like, oh, we're going to take her to be evaluated. And I was like, thank you. At least do something to get her out of my home at this moment instead of like, yeah. And then they were like, we're taking her to be evaluated. We're putting her in the hospital. And I was like, thank you. And I'm just like, we can sleep Like that weight was lifted. It was just like, oh my gosh, okay. But it's just like I felt like a prisoner in my own home, and I couldn't do anything because like she's my kid, and I'm like, and the police are no help at all. They're just like, well, you can't beat your child because that's child abuse, and I'm like, but they can beat me.
I
That's
actually had
okay.
the officer tell me there is a difference between abuse and discipline, and as long as you are not leaving massive bruises or making them bleed, it is
Mhm.
discipline. Because it
Mhm.
wasn't until the 32nd time that the cops were called to my house for my son that they actually did something. And he and I actually had to get into a physical altercation before they stepped in.
Yeah.
Like,
It was the same thing with me and my daughter, and like I have some cops that told me that same thing. There was one day that they responded to my house and they said, we're going to stand over here if you'd like to handle that. And I was like, I feel like I'm being set up right now. I feel like if I go in and do anything to my child, this is going to turn into an episode of Cops, and you're going to like drag me out, and like I'm not doing it. And she was just like running off at the mouth, and the one guy was like, are you sure? And I was like, if y'all want to step outside, maybe I'll do something, but I'm not going to do anything right in front of you guys. But I was like, no, I'm sure, because like it's not going to do anything. And like I learned the hard way that like getting into it with her didn't solve anything. It just made her more upset, and it put holes in my wall or holes in my door, because like that's what she does. And it's just like, what can I do? And if I didn't get mad, she'd get even more upset. And I'm like, because I'm that person, if I don't have to get into it with you, I'd rather just walk away and let you calm down and then figure out why you're this upset to begin with. Once I pass that threshold of like I'm standing at the edge and you just like kicked me that one little inch and I'm like right there teetering, oh, it's on. Like it's on like Donkey Kong. I'm in it to win it. I don't like getting there, and I try to like keep myself from getting there, but I can only put up with so much before I'm just like, okay, you know what? No. Like this is how it's going to be. You are my child. This is what you're going to do.
and it's hard when it's your kid, because you're supposed to be the one that protects them and helps them,
Right.
but you can't do that if they're not getting help for being, acting inappropriately and stuff.
Right. And then everybody else, thank you. And then everybody else is like looking in from the outside, and they're like, well, she's your daughter. Why would you call the police? She's your daughter. Why did you do that? And I'm like, there was one point in time, she stole $700 from me to give to her friend. And I was like, what was I supposed to do? Well, she's your daughter. I'm like, doesn't mean if I stole $700 from my mom would have me sitting out front of the police station doing community service, and like I'm still taking her to court to get that $700 back. And like I'm like, okay, well, she's my daughter. I love her, but I have to do something, or I'm not going to get that. Like, oh no, it was a friend. I'm not going to get that money back. But like, you know what? I'm that person. There's consequences to your actions, and you need to learn those consequences to your actions, or you're never. If you go and live your life and rob banks and you don't ever get caught, you're not going to stop robbing those banks. You're going to rob those banks until you get caught and end up in jail for the rest of your life. It's the same thing with kids. They're going to continue to do the same thing. And here, I live in the most ridiculous county in the nation. It's also the richest county in the nation. But they slap kids on the wrist and they tell them not to do it again. And then they put you in these wonderful programs with other kids that get slapped on the wrist that are like badass kids. Oh, I'm sorry, bad kids. And like you start doing other things. And it's just like, okay, I thought that was supposed to help my child, not get my child into other things. Like, what am I? And then I'm the bad parent. Like, no, I'm trying to parent three kids with one who's like completely out of control. I'm doing the best that I can. And I'm just like, if one more person tells me like I'm not doing something, and then when people are like, oh, we tried to help her and like we can't help her, and I was like, what? I don't know why I didn't think of that or told you that. Like now you see how I feel. I want to help my child, but I can't help my child. She has to help herself before she can be helped.
And it's hard. It's hard to sit back and wait.
And tune in because I'll be on lessons learned for the next year and a half because I got lots of lessons I've learned. Anytime you need a guest, you just let me know. I'll be back with something new.
I'm ready for a nap. All
Me
right,
too.
Spirit Rider, is there anything else you wanted to add to the topic?
No, I think I pretty much covered everything. If I get started on something else, we're gonna go past your hour. So I'm not gonna get into anything else. But you can find me on IG if anybody ever needs to talk about anything. I'm here. It's always one thing I am gonna tell everybody here when it comes to mental health, have somebody that you can talk to. Because that is the most important thing, whether it's somebody on the app, somebody off the app, just have that trusted person that you can go to. Don't ever keep it in because you don't want to keep it all bundled up, because if you keep it all bundled up, it's eventually going to seep out, and you don't want it to happen like that, because then it's much more than it needs to be. But find that person or get a journal and journal, because a journal is just as good as a person if you don't have that trusted person. And that's my words of wisdom for today.
Well, thank you very much. If you guys haven't done so already, please hit Beard Rider with the fave. I appreciate you, my dear. Blessings. I think you're on next week if you're still here. Um, yeah, guys, I don't know. Uh-oh. Ooh, it's good timing. My phone's gonna die. All right. If you guys want to go ahead and post your other favorite featured shows, other shows that you either host or watch that you think people should check out, put them in the comments with the date and time.
Yeah, and I'm an admin for lots of featured shows on the app and non-featured shows on the app. So if anybody wants to be on shows, if I'm not the admin, I know the admins and can help you get on those shows. If you need help with being if you need an admin, hit me up on IG. I do everything, flyers. I love it. So anybody that needs help, I'm here. I got you.
Raider, and then I got my admin emoji J. Between the two of them, you two can get on almost any show I think that we've got on here.
Pretty much. Me and Emoji J, we're like this. We talk every day. We're like, hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? So if there's anything that you want to be on, let's go. Yeah, Rambo, I'm actually gonna check that out tonight. I saw the flyer for it on IG yesterday.
I work that tonight. I'm half tempted to call off and tell them I don't feel good.
All right, I'm gonna hop out of here because
Bye,
she wants to
Raider.
take the TV off of mute. Thank you so much for having me on your show. It was a blast. I'm glad your grandmother is doing well with her physical therapy, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
I'm just tired. I didn't sleep very well last night. So I figured I was going to get on for my show. And then I was going to take a little nap before we go to do some live music. My allergies have been bothering me the last couple days. Something awfully fierce. Thank you. Yeah, at the nursing home we're at, they've got a lady or a gentleman that comes and plays the guitar and sings every Friday. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna meet you guys. I'll come back